Hello. Just making sure you all can hear me. It looks like it. Okay. All right. If you are watching the recording, I'm going to start in 5 minutes. So you can go ahead. I would guess you can fast forward. I would fast forward 5 minutes. We're going to wait a minute and let people join. Okay. I just put in the chat the link to join the course. And there's you can buy with one payment, or there's also an option where you can buy in 4 payments, and that's at the very bottom of the sales page. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see it. So I'm just typing that in the chat right now. Or if you go to the page, there is 4 option, which is always nice. Okay. Just gonna wait a little bit longer. And we'll get started in about 3 minutes. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm in my daughter's room because we are remodeling our primary bathroom. My husband is in there right now, taping it off to paint it. So here we are, because I actually don't have an office. I usually work out of my room. But we're good. Let's see. I'm feeling very excited. I actually already have 1 spot taken in the course, and there are 14 spots left. I'm only allowing 15 people in. I'll announce that after the webinar today. Yeah. Hope you all had a great New Year's, good Christmas. I'm doing good. I have a little bit of like a scratchy voice, a slight cough, but I'm thankful that's it. It would not be fun if I was like really sick right now. So I'm feeling good. Krista said they're trying to get over sickness too. Okay, in just a minute, we are going to get started. And just a reminder, at the very end of the webinar, I'm going to give you a coupon code to get an extra $200 off the course. And what's awesome is if you know any of my affiliates, you can stack that with their codes. So maybe you'll be able to get a really good deal. Okay. State people again. Hi, Tommy. I don't know you. The other one, I know Krista, but I don't know Tommy. Welcome. You're welcome to write in the chat, Tommy, if you want. Introduce yourself, where you're from, why you are interested in photography. Let's see. It's the chat. Oh, well, it's 2:05, so we are going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, let's make this bigger. I'm going to move this up over here. Okay, I hope you can see everything okay. All right, so welcome to my free webinar. I hope today is helpful for you. And if you have any questions or any thoughts, put it in the chat and hopefully I'll see it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very good at this Zoom stuff. I see the chat up here, so okay. So yeah, let's get started. I'm so happy you're here. Showing up here at the webinar means you are ready to invest in yourself and make a change and grow and learn new things. I'm sure you're nervous and wondering so many things. So I wanted to start off with some really, really important things. First of all, you can do this. I promise you, if I can do this, you can do this. Second of all, you are not too late. I remember when I started photography about 10 years ago, I already felt like I was too late, but we're not going to live in this scarcity mindset. You are not too late. I promise you, everything is happening at the exact right time for you. And I promise you and assure you that you can make money doing this. And that is my whole goal. Obviously, I want you to take beautiful pictures, but I want you to be making money and to be doing it stress-free. And you can bless yourself and your family. You really do have this. You've got it. So, you are in the right place if you are ready to make some money, if you are ready to invest in yourself, if you are looking for a creative outlet, and obviously if you've been wanting to be a photographer. And there's a whole other bunch of things that fit in that category. And this is not the right place for you if you are not ready to learn, and if you're not willing to be a beginner, and you are not ready to take some time with this, and you are not wanting to make money. I'm guessing we all want to make money here on this earth, right? But if you're not wanting to make it, then you're not in the right place. So if you watch till the end, I have a discount code for you. So a couple of things to keep in mind: be present, be open, and get excited. Okay, so wanted to just tell you a little bit how it started with me. So this is a picture of me and my husband. We've been married. This year will be like 10 or 11 years. I can't even remember, but I have always wanted a nice camera. I had always wanted one, but I had never told anyone. And I was super scared if I got one, I would never figure out and use it. And at the time, I was a newly married 8th grade history teacher. My thoughtful husband surprised me, and this is pretty much the only surprise he's ever done for me that I can think of. A week before we left on a trip to Mexico, he surprised me with a brand new camera and a real fancy camera. And I remember I was actually so scared, and he was surprised that I was so scared. And I was about to break down about it. I truly am technologically challenged. So like this machine just freaked me out. But thankfully he is a tech nerd and he actually knew photography. He cannot take pictures of people. They look horrible, but he can take really great, landscape photography, like outdoor pictures. So he promised he would teach me, and he did. And he had to help me over and over and over again. But I got it. And so these are actual pictures I took almost a decade ago when we went to Mexico. Obviously not the one in the middle. That's another picture of me and my husband. But I literally got the camera the week before this trip. So I was so, so proud of all of these pictures. So when we came back from Mexico, I started taking pictures of just anything, my husband, my dog, flowers, horses that were in the neighborhood. And after a little while, I started to get a little confident and started to think like maybe I could make money from this. So I asked my friend Annie if I could take their family pictures for free. And somehow, a miracle from God, the shoot went so good. That picture right here is a picture from that shoot, and it changed everything. And after that, I got brave enough to start even advertising. So here's a few more pictures from this shoot. And yeah, these kids are old now because this was about 10 years ago, which is crazy, but this was the confidence booster I needed. So from there, it's pretty much crazy what happened. Once I was still teaching and I started shooting a lot, and I decided I was ready to upgrade my laptop and my camera body and lenses. And so I set up a goal that I wanted to upgrade my laptop, and I needed to make $2,500 from photography, which seemed like so much. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make a goal. I want to make 2,500 in 5 months for this new laptop. And I made it in less than 2 months. It was like, honestly, a month and like a week or two. And I was shocked. So, after that, I knew I wanted to upgrade my camera body and lens. So again, I calculated it out of the camera and lenses I wanted to buy, which was 2,500. So I set a goal to make that in 3 months. And once again, I crushed that goal. And like, it really just obviously made me much more confident. And so quite quickly, so what happened was is I had my daughter, and while I was teaching, and I never went back. I had her and I was done. But I had photography, and I quickly not only started making as much money as I made as a teacher, but I now make over triple my income that I made as a teacher. And looking back on my photography journey, I can see all the mistakes and things I believed early on that are just not true. And so I want to share those things with you. And just something to keep in mind, along with growing my business, I have grown my family, and now we have 3 kids and we homeschool. So let's talk about some of the things that I wish I had known when I first started photography. So the 5 things I wish I had known, here they are listed out, but we're going to go through each of them. Let's go to the next one. So the first thing I didn't understand and realize is that photography is actually the least important part of your photography business, which is crazy, right? Because when people think, okay, maybe I want to start a photography business, you're likely going to first think about, oh my gosh, I need to know how to take pretty pictures. And while that's important, that's not the most important thing. But while it's important to take pretty and professional pictures, if you do not value yourself and market yourself and put yourself out there, then your pretty pictures do not matter. So the important thing about this course is it's not simply a photography course, but a photography business course where you will learn mindset, believing in yourself, not limiting yourself, understanding your value, knowing how to price yourself. You'll understand marketing, client relationships, etc. It is way more about the inner work and your inner mindset and business strategies than even being able to take pretty pictures. But I promise I'll teach you how to take pretty pictures too. Okay. The second thing that I didn't understand is that presets are the least important part of editing. Not everyone knows what presets are. Presets, you can buy presets and put them in your Lightroom Classic, and what they basically are is filters that you can put over your pictures, and you can buy them from professional photographers. Here's the deal though. While a preset can create a look or a style for a photographer, what a preset does not do is fix a bad photo or make an okay photo better. So actually the most important part when it comes to taking beautiful images is understanding how light works. And we have a whole module, a whole week where we focus on light in the course. So once you start learning manual settings and then also using light correctly, that is when a preset will pop and create a unique look for you and your business. Okay, so while we're talking about light, I want to explain what I call the light equation for you, and some of the most important settings when you start to learn to shoot in manual. So first of all, on your camera, you have a light meter, which is like a bar graph. And so when you look through, you can look on your visual or you can look through your lens and you'll see the light meter. And you will be able to see how your exposure is based on the light meter. Your goal is to have the meter show your image right on the zero. So there's like a 0, and then like, -1, -2, -3, or 1, 2, 3. When we're up in the positives, it's overexposed, your image, or too bright. And when you're in the negatives, it's underexposed or too dark. So your goal is to look at your light meter and to adjust your settings so that the light is right on 0. So it is perfectly exposed. Okay. And in manual mode, you will focus on 3 settings, which together I call the light equation. As you adjust these 3 settings, you can properly expose your image. When it's too dark, like I explained, it's underexposed, and too bright, it is overexposed. So the 3 settings that we're going to talk about right now are ISO, aperture, which is also called f-stop, and shutter speed. So let me explain these to you. So this is ISO. So ISO comes back from the days of film. When you had a film camera, you had to go buy film, and you would buy a certain type of ISO film depending on the lighting scenario you would shoot in. The lower the ISO number, the more light is already present in your lighting scenario. The higher number of ISO, you need it to be higher to pull in more light. So when it's a darker lighting scenario you are shooting in, you need a higher ISO or a higher number. So if you see here, we shoot at 100 ISO in sunny situations. When it starts to get like partly cloudy or a little bit darker, or maybe it's a sunny day, but you're in the shade, you're going to move your ISO up to 200. When it's overcast, you're likely going to be at 400. When you're indoors, unless there's just like crazy bright windows and tons of light, you're probably going to be up to 800 ISO. And then you have to get higher and higher as it gets darker and darker. So when the ISO is a lower number, your image will be more crisp and have less grain in it. But when it is a higher number, because it had to pull in so much light, there's going to be more grain in your image, which is also called noise. So you want to keep that in mind because you don't always want grain in your images. However, if it's a dark lighting scenario, then you're going to need to. So first thing I always do is adjust my ISO depending on the lighting situation, and then I adjust my aperture or f-stop. So want to explain some things to you. Your aperture decides how much of your image is in focus, which is what we call depth of field, which in turn decides how much light is let in. So narrow or wide, the lower your number of aperture, the less is in focus. So you know how you'll see a picture of like a flower, but everything behind it is blurry? That is because it was an image shot with a low aperture. A narrow depth of field means your subject will be in focus while the background will be blurry and your image will be brighter. I prefer to shoot with a lower aperture because I love that look. Now, when we're talking about wide, the higher number of aperture, the wider the depth of field, and the more is in focus, meaning you have a longer distance in focus and your image will be darker. So if you take out your camera and you were to focus on my nose, let's use my nose, you're going to focus on a plane, okay? Like in math, a plane. And if your aperture is low, only a little bit in that plane will be in focus. If your aperture is high, then more the range of the plane, more is in focus. Okay. However, when you have a higher aperture, your image will be darker because you're letting in less light. Okay. Something important is focus. You focus your camera when you push your shutter button halfway down. Keep in mind when you are shooting, what your focus is on, like I was saying, is the plane it is on. I personally, like I said, like to keep a smaller aperture because I prefer the look of my subject standing out with a background that is out of focus. So here explains what I was talking about. So you can see the numbers beneath the rings, like 1.4. That is a low aperture. And that means that it is way open. And because of that, more light is coming in. So the lower the number, the lighter your image is, the more light you're letting in. It is a blurry background, and this is good for isolating subjects. Now, as you move your aperture bigger or wider, you can see less and less light is let in. And at the same time, more and more is in focus. You're opening the plane. It's a wider depth of field. And this is good for like landscape pictures when you want everything in focus and you don't want things to be blurry. So I do ISO first, then I choose my aperture. And then the last thing I do to balance the light and make sure it's perfectly exposed is shutter speed. Now, I feel like if you have never heard of any of these settings, shutter speed makes the most sense. So the last part of the light equation is your shutter speed. This is simply choosing how fast or how slow your shutter opens. The faster it opens, the more crisp your image is, and the better you can freeze image. So you're going to want a faster shutter speed when you're capturing like sports or animals or people that are moving. And when your shutter speed is too slow, it will cause blur or blurry motion. I recommend that unless you intentionally want blurry pictures, which is artistic and fun sometimes, but you're not going to want every picture like that. You're going to want to shoot, you're not going to want to shoot slower than 1/200. So if you look at the numbers down below, you can see that the first numbers down there are slow, but the slower your shutter speed is, the longer it's open, so the more light you're letting in. But as you move faster and faster, so you can capture a crisp image, you have to be sure to make sure you're not going too fast if your image is dark. If your image is dark, you're going to want to slow down your shutter speed more. And while you can work now, you've got these 3 things that you can adjust to make sure your image is perfectly exposed. You've got ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. And I know this is like a lot, but I promise you in my course, we go over this and I have cheat sheets for you. And the more you practice, the faster you'll get and the more you'll start to understand it. So I'm now going to move on to the next thing I wish I had known before I started photography. The third thing is social media following doesn't matter. The amount of followers you have has absolutely nothing to do with how much money you make or how many shoots you book. Truly, all you need is a handful of loyal clients and you can stay busy. I personally have about 5 families who are truly loyal to me. And from their loyalty, I have shot all their family pictures, all of their like senior pictures or portraits, wedding pictures. They have several different businesses between these 5 families. So I take all of their business pictures and then they refer me to all of their friends and their friends call me. And those 5 families just keep on giving. So I promise you, your social media following, it doesn't matter. And the right people will come to you and they'll stay loyal to you and you will stay busy. Okay. The 4th thing I wish I had known is to value yourself. People will not value you if you do not value yourself and your time. And so I'm talking about how you price yourself. Obviously, experience can play a role in how much we charge as photographers, but you can gain experience much more quickly than you realize and much more easily than you would expect. So let me tell you, the absolute worst reason someone can hire you as a photographer is because you are the cheapest option. Let me tell you, you do not want that. If they are hiring you because you are the cheapest option, that means your client does not actually value you and your work. They only value their money and are happy for the deal. And so what happens is I have found every time, the less I charge as a photographer, the less I am valued by my clients and the worse I am treated. The more I charge, the more I'm valued and the better I am treated. It's crazy. I never ever would have expected this. And so I want you to understand that the amount you charge will attract different types of clients. So the question is, do you value yourself? And what kind of clients do you hope to attract? And this is one of the things I am most excited to teach in my course, the importance of value. There is an entire module, an entire week about value and pricing and understanding how to price yourself and how, more importantly than that, how to value yourself. Because I would say that's one of the scariest things to do as a beginner is to start to charge. So I'm going to help you with that. All right. And the fifth thing I wish I had known is you can only make as much money as you think you can. So when we allow our mind to be open and give ourselves permission to dream big, it can happen. Money is a fun and interesting thing. What people do not realize is that we are the ones keeping ourselves back from making money. If we can dream big and imagine ourselves making really good money, then we can actually figure out how to do it. But if we're just shut ourselves down and are like, oh, I could never make money, then obviously you're never going to make money. So making money is actually a mind thing. If we want to be something or someone, such as someone who makes a lot of money, then we need to ask ourselves, how would someone with lots of money be living and acting right now? And then we need to act like that now in each of our daily decisions. And I got this from James Clear from his book, Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It was pretty life-changing for me. So this goes along with the last bonus mistake I want to talk about is, not knowing the most important part of your business is actually your mindset. Mindset is the absolute key to everything. So most people live life through this current thought pattern. So most people think about what they want to have, and then they let that drive them. So it's called have, do, be. So for example, I want to have X. So that means I need to do X. And then because I'm doing that, that means I'll be X. Okay. So doing certain things and having certain things does not make you a certain way or who you want to be. So actually, you need to reverse it. The thought pattern for success, the correct and empowering approach should actually be the opposite of that: to be, then do, then have approach. So let's talk about that. So what kind of woman, mom, and business owner do you want to be? And if you got like, a paper beside you or your phone, I would love just if you thought about that right now, because be needs to be first. Who do we want to be? And I mean, what I would want you to be is a successful photography business owner, while also, of course, being an amazing and intentional mom and wife. Okay. And then now you know who you want to be. What do you need to be doing right now to be her? Right? Does that mean maybe you need to wake up earlier or go to bed earlier? Maybe you need to feed yourself better. Maybe you need to change how your day is, or be more organized, or maybe you need to get some help. Help meaning like maybe help cleaning your house or help with childcare. Okay, and then what will you have as a result of who you'll be and what you'll do? Because we got to be those people to get what we want to have. So I hope you can use this method the rest of your life to empower yourself to be and embody the dream version of yourself. When you are being her, you will do and have what you want. So I think about this all the time. Now remember, nothing I have shared today is fluff. This course teaches you everything you need to know to have a successful business. You will be running the business and you can make your business as profitable as you want. So what's included in the course? It's 8 weeks and each week has its own module. The first 4 modules and 4 weeks teach you all the photography skills. So we start shooting in manual mode. We learn how to edit like a pro, we understand light like a professional, and I teach you how to conduct shoots and how to work with clients. Then the last 4 modules, these are my favorite ones. These are all the business things: marketing and official business setup, pricing and value, business hours and productivity, and business and money mindset. And so we are going to do all this through, you'll have a virtual course with a video or a few videos with each week. I will go live each week to do group coaching. And basically I get on and I say, well, how can I help you? Or let me explain a few more things about that. And I'm there to help you. And then there's a whole community. It's kind of like a Facebook group, but better. And each week there are weekly challenges that help you to gain experience and to increase success. And with the weekly challenges, you'll be getting feedback from me. And in that community, you'll be able to direct message me at any time so I can help you at any time. And you'll get 2 one-on-one calls. I'd love to have a one-on-one call towards the beginning of the course in the first 4 weeks, and then a one-on-one call towards the end, so I can make sure I'm helping you with anything you need and guaranteeing your success. And there's all kinds of bonuses: how to decide on your pricing, posing guides, how to do killer mini sessions, photography contracts, inspirational input list, and more. So, and I'm only like designing more and more bonuses that I'll be able to give you guys. So imagine making hundreds or thousands of dollars a month. It's possible. It's truly possible. I know it's possible because I do it. And making that money while doing what you love, and making that money without the overwhelm all beginner photographers experience. My goal for this course is to not only fast track you to success in making money, but to help you do it in a way that is sustainable, without overwhelm, without the stress. So that's why I created the course. And what will it cost? Not $5,000, not $3,000. It is $14.99. And if you buy before midnight tonight, here is the code to get $200 off. It's code Let's Go. And so that makes it a total of $12.99. And if you happen to have any affiliate codes, you can stack it with that as well. So this is more than a steal for all of the value we're getting. And I promise you, if you apply yourself, you can make this money back as fast as 2 months or within for sure 8 months. And you can go on to take all of this information and skills I have given you to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I know you can do that because I have done that. And if I had had this course a long time ago, I would have made money way faster. This whole course is teaching all of the things I wish I had known when I first started. So, and here's some testimonials from the women who were in the last round of the course. I mean, I'll read a few, but I personally was actually blown away by the course results for these women who were in it the last round. Every single one of them had already made money, they'd already started making money before the course was over. And one of them had made enough money to pay for the course within the 8 weeks, which is just like insane. So let's see. Tressa has filled in all the questions and roadblocks that before this course would have stopped me. I can now confidently do more than just take pictures. I can edit, talk to clients, and charge money, and do this all with confidence in myself and my skills. For me, that is priceless, so worth it. Another girl talking to you, considering the course, go for it. Make the time to do something for yourself. Invest in your talents and your business, and trust your ability to make money. And I mean, there's just every single person, I had them fill out like a questionnaire at the end. All of them said they were extremely likely to refer the course to a friend. So I promise you, it works. It truly, truly works. So join now. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. And just going to kind of open up the chat. Where is the chat? I can't find it, but, oh, there it is. I know that, oh, Tommy, I'm a friend of Janae and have been messing around with photography this last year. I am currently a high school science teacher, but I am burnt out. So I would love to jump into photography initially as a creative outlet and hope to turn it into something more. That's literally my exact story, Tommy. I was a teacher. My husband gifted me that camera. I never, ever would have thought that I would be doing this now. So I think that's perfect. Let's see, it's January. So if you wanted, I honestly think that you could take the course or start photography. And I would bet you could quit if you wanted this next school year, the next fall. Obviously, it's your life and you need to do what you want to do, but I promise you that photography, you can make a lot of money and you will be as successful as you want to be. If you have, Tommy, do you have any other questions I can help you with? Because you know what's crazy is I have found that the two main like jobs that women are wanting to quit and replace photography with are teachers and nurses. I had a nurse last round and a teacher last round. And thanks, Krista. But because teachers don't get paid enough personally. And I can say that because I was a teacher. And so if you wanted to, you totally could. Oh, are you here? If you want, you can talk.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if that
Okay, hi
was
Tommy. You're Tommy, right? Yeah, you are.
um yeah, I'm like sold. I'm like, sign me
Oh,
up.
okay, awesome.
So
Um, you said you're friends with Janae. Do you have her coupon code? Did
she
she
sent
make one?
me what she thinks it is, and then she told me to if it doesn't work, she'll text you.
Okay, okay. Oh wait, I'm saying I had a text from her. So I bet that's exactly what it's saying. So yeah, my assistant supposedly made it so that you can stack my code I just gave you
Okay.
with Janae's. So like, do you follow me on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, so go do that, or you could, and then message me right away if you're having any problems, and we can get it figured out by midnight for you.
Okay.
I mean,
Perfect.
I don't want you staying up to midnight, but like,
Yeah, I'll go
we'll
send
get
it.
that figured out by tonight. So you already have a camera and everything.
I do. I have a Sony um I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna embarrass myself with what I say. I
Oh,
feel like
you're
it's
good.
an Alpha 6400. It's like a
Okay.
mirrorless camera. I don't know.
Oh, it's mirrorless. That's great.
Yeah. Great. I'm like, I have no idea if it's like acceptable. I'm just like, that's what I've been
Honestly,
doing.
I literally started with the most beginner camera you can get. And it
Great.
was and like you saw in my story, I made thousands until I decided to upgrade and I was able to upgrade immediately.
Great. Yeah. My friend's a photographer. And so I like just travel. And so I wanted something to like take pictures when I traveled. So
Mhm.
she recommended that one. And then I just bought a lens for like portraits.
Okay,
Like
so do you know what lens you have?
I got a 24-70.
24 to 70?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
That's what
great.
I would recommended.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I just started taking like newborn pics just like for fun because all my friends started having babies. Uh,
Okay. So you already have like a clientele base
very
almost.
small. Yeah, very
Yes.
small.
Yeah, but
Just
you've started. Like you're
yeah.
already doing it. You're ahead of a lot of people.
Yeah. So but I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like making it up as I go. So this is like exciting because I'm like, oh, like I could actually like turn it into something and not just like keep doing it as a fun thing, but like actually turn it.
Totally. Do you have kids then?
No.
No kids. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
this is the perfect time. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
if you
know.
heard my story.
I asked her, she's like, I wish I had more time. Like, so, and I was like, oh, that's perfect because I have time.
Yeah, like, because honestly, like if I didn't have kids right now, I could be making over 200K a year
Okay.
as a photographer.
Yeah.
And like you're a beginner, but
Yeah.
like with this course, you could literally make that happen within 1 to 2 years if you wanted,
Okay.
without having kids even. Obviously, when you have kids, I mean, it depends on how you want to like live your
Totally.
life. But like, and I prioritize my kids, but like if I didn't have kids or if I didn't care to be around my kids, I could be making insane amounts of money. And I
Yeah.
but even with my kids, I'm making crazy good money. So like, this is awesome for you. This is perfect timing.
I'm so excited. When does the
Okay.
course start?
So like, okay,
Like,
I believe after you purchase today,
uh-huh.
a few things are already sent your way, but like it literally starts Sunday. Like
Great.
Sunday, if you haven't already gotten access, Sunday is the first day you get access to like the first week's module,
Okay.
and next Tuesday is when I go live for the
Okay.
first time. And so you teach how, like, do you teach till like 3 every day, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
2:50.
'Cause I go live at 2 on Tuesdays,
Okay.
but if you can't make it, you can always message me. We have the one-on-one calls. Like, I
Okay.
just want you to be successful, so I'll be there for
Okay.
you.
Awesome.
Yeah, do you have any other questions or anything else
I
I can
don't
help
think
you with?
so. Not right
So
now.
when I talked about like the manual settings, do you
Yeah.
understand those?
Um, I have retaught myself them over and over and over again, and then I've like messed around with them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like I don't trust myself with them.
Yeah, yeah,
So
totally.
like I've like messed with it and like know how to like change them on my camera and have
Mhm.
like, but I don't like trust myself in a shoot. Like that's why I feel like I can't charge, because I'm like, I have no idea how a
Yeah,
shoot is going to turn out. Like I don't trust
totally.
myself with it.
Totally. Yeah. So basically, I teach you guys manual mode right away, and I just ask that you practice every day. Like
Okay.
every day you're shooting. And then the next week I'll teach editing, and you'll just be, I ask that you try to every day shoot a little bit and then
Okay.
start editing. Just so you know, do you have presets?
I don't.
I recommend that you buy a pack of presets.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's a future expense I'll recommend,
Okay.
because they are created by photographers who have insanely, insane understanding of editing. So you could buy a preset that you like, or just either one pack, just one pack. Don't go too crazy. And that will help you give your pictures like a cohesive look.
Okay.
And it will help give you professional editing that like beginners don't understand.
Okay.
So that's what I would recommend. I go over that week too, but if you want in the meantime, you can be like exploring presets
Yeah.
or photographers.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Anything else I can help you with?
I don't think so.
No?
I'm just
Okay, I'm so glad you were here. Yay.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, I'm here. Seriously, I'll be looking at my Instagram all day. So if
Okay.
you need anything, you let me know. And trying to think if there's any otherwise, like we're live
Okay.
Sunday.
Perfect. I'm
Oh,
excited.
okay, thanks so much, Tommy. Nice
Okay,
to meet you.
thank you. You too.
Okay, bye. All righty. Well, that was awesome. So if you are watching the recording, please feel free to message me on Instagram if you have any questions. I think you guys all know my Instagram, and I don't know if you can see the chat when you're watching the recording, but I'm enlightenedlensacademy.com. So hope to see you guys in the course.